Is this exactly what the Bible says? That a man should take the surname of his wife, the surname of the woman, and not the man, and not the woman taking the surname of the man? Or one of those narratives that is continuously pushing for equal rights between a man and a woman, that in fact that the woman should not be the head of the house. In fact, Bible scholars and men of wisdom, make una watch this video, I beg. Confusion plenty again for this internet space.
The Bible says in no vague terms that therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife. So you're supposed to leave your father and your mother and everything that has to do with them, including their name, and cleave to your wife, which suggests actually that you should adopt your wife's last name, not the other way around. Why is this? Why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody talking about this? Right? Because that's what the Bible says. The Bible says you're supposed to leave your father and your mother and cleave unto your wife. You're supposed to cleave unto your wife. You're supposed to take your wife's last name. I'm not misinterpreting the Bible. This is literally word for word what the Bible said. You're supposed to leave your family and go into the woman's family. That's how it is in the Bible, right? But nobody wants to talk about that because it does not fit into the narrative that men are trying to push. So on this last name issue, right, let's just all chill out, right? And let everybody do what makes them happy. If there's a woman out there who wants to take her husband's last name, by all means, please do. Because to be fair, a lot of people actually have reasons why they don't even want the name they used to have anymore. Like that's their business. I love the family I come from. I love my father. I love the name that I have grown up with. I like my life. And asking me to be in your life should not strip me of the identity I used to have. You know, I'm still a Mrs. I can be a Mrs. without having to be branded like cow. I'm not a cow. I'm a human being. You don't get to name me. I am not property. It can really be that straightforward, right? When you have children, when we have children, you can name your child. By all means, I'm not your child. If you wanted a kid, go and adopt a kid.
There is something absolutely wrong with this generation. You know, some of the narratives you see every now and then, some of these things you see some of these women coming on the social media to fight for, is one of the reasons why, if you go to the West today, there are so many single mothers. In fact, young men are no longer interested in getting married. Some men have categorically zeroed their mind that they don't want to be married, that they just want to have a child. For those that want to have a child, some doesn't even want to have. You see, this narrative that some women are continuously pushing now is so irrelevant when you begin to ask yourself, our parents never fought for any of these rights. Our mothers got married happily and they remained in that marriage until they were able to produce all of us. They never went about fighting for title, fighting irrelevant things that women of this generation are continuously fighting: acculturization and westernization. I want to be like Oyibo. Is Oyibo marriage better than your marriage? Have you traveled? Have you been to Europe? Have you been to United States of America? Do you know the number of women that are living as single mothers? Do you know the number of crimes that are coming from families of single mothers, single parents? The original plan of God was not for you to have a child as a mother independent of a father. It was not for you as a father to have a child independent of a mother. The original design was for you to coexist with your wife as one and produce children in order to subdue the earth. Children from single parents, fatherless children are all over in the West committing so many crimes. Don't quote me wrong. Some people are single mothers out of situations, based on circumstances. Some people are single fathers based on circumstances. But women should stop pushing these narratives. Imagine a man taking the title, taking the surname of the wife. What makes him a man then? What makes him the head of the house? Especially for those of you who are Christians. Meanwhile, the Bible doesn't even talk about anybody taking surname and all of that. Marriage is cultural. Our entire existence is tied to our culture. It's tied to where we come from. It's tied to our tradition and culture. And I'm sure if your tradition says from the origin of time that when you as a woman get married, that you take up the surname of your husband, that is exactly what defines you. That is exactly how it has been from the origin of time. And that has brought peace in the relationship of the past, in the marriages of the past. Those of you that are now waking up thinking that you are more intelligent and more learned, fighting already established